What's going on, everybody? I'm Eric Polley at ericpolley.com, and today we are on part 6 of our video series of recreating and redesigning my website from the ground up. We are using React.js and Tailwind. Though this is technically not a tutorial, of course, feel free to follow along. If this is the first of the series that you're watching, I suggest watching from video number 1. And with all that said, and I think we're ready to go. Let's do this. All right, what do we got going on here so far? Let's hit Control J inside of here and make sure we got enough room and space to look at what we're doing. So we just finished up the video section over here, and this is responsive in both medium, large, and small screens. And now we're ready to move on to the next section. Just bang into my desk really quick. Let's work on portfolio. For the portfolio, go ahead and close videos now. We're not going to need that. Though we are going to do something similar. We don't need it to be as nitpicky because there's no videos inside of the portfolio section. Instead, there's just going to be I'm gonna put some iframes. So really, we could just copy the initial video heading, and that is something that we could make responsive, but because I know I'm not going to go back and edit this, I'm not terribly worried about it. But I am just going to take both of these and go ahead and open up the portfolio, and I'm just going to paste them in here and close the second div. Gotta close it. There we go. And corner bracket. Now we got a nice heading, which is consistent as we have done in our videos section. Alright, now for the remaining of this, we would like to create another div that is a container for some cards. Now these cards are going to be in iframe with a description underneath, and we would like to put everything inside of this div, and we know that this is the main div because it's going to be a flex with a flex row, and we're going to do a flex wrap. Okay, so now everything will be in a row controlled by a flex box, and if the screen is too small, the flex will wrap, therefore making sure that all of the items inside of this flex box will show up inside of your screen. Right, so let's create one card and then we can duplicate it. For this card, we would like a width of 1/3, and that is for standard, and that's for my large screen. For a medium screen, we're going to do width is 1/2, and then any other time width is going to be full. And you're not going to see anything happening on the screen as I save it because that is an empty div with some properties on it. So for this card, we would also like a shadow, and we can do a extra large to make sure it's very emphasized and you can really see what's going on there. I'm just going to populate that with a little bit of text so we can see what's going on there. You know what, instead of a shadow, well, let's add a shadow and a border of like 4, and that gives us a tiny box around it. and let's do like a margin of, let's say 4, so then it gives us the box all by itself there. If we duplicated it right now multiple times, you would see that they're wrapping around, but currently they are they have no information, so we would need some information inside here. What do we know that we want to do in order to make the card? First off, we're going to have a title. So let's see if the heading is, see, now the heading doesn't like being in a section that's not for heading. So we're going to create a paragraph instead, because we can add all the properties to make it the text size that we would like anyways. And this is going to be the title to the card. And we want a title that has at least a semi-bold. We want font semi-bold, is that right? Semi-bold, where is it? Text semi-bold? No, there it is. That should be it. Yes. Like, did I already use that earlier? No, I used font medium. Perfect. Let's take a nice water break. That water break was brought to you by water, H2O. Been around the world for a long time. H2O. Brought to you by ice. Okay. We have a title. It's a little bit small. Text, let's see what large. If that's large enough, I believe it is. And we'll probably change a little bit of the sizes for when it's on a smaller screen, if that is necessary. The text actually might be larger, because when the flex wraps it, it will ensure that the width is full on a small screen. So the title will be taking up an entire line. So it would like to be a little bit larger. So next we would like the iframe. And this iframe is actually going to just be a website. So currently, gonna populate it with a little bit of randomness, I suppose, but just so we have a visual of what we're trying to create here, I would like to create a little bit of text and the actual iframe where it's going to go. We can actually add a class onto the iframe itself, so that way we can see it while it doesn't have anything inside of it. And to do that, let's just add a border, 4, and there it is. And as you can see, it's taking up half of the width, because the width is set to 200 pixels rather than a variable. So let's see if we just delete this right here. We'll save that in width to full. It's filling up as much space as it can. There's something there next to it right here. Is that what it is? Nope. It's just for whatever reason. Right here. See why it doesn't want to fill out this entire space. Width full. Just W. Don't need that. Okay, so we do want the width to take up the entire width. So underneath we would like a link and also a small description. Really, there should be 2 links. One for the GitHub and one for the actual website itself that the portfolio will take you to. Okay, I was like, you're gonna give me the good stuff? Here it is, a link. And this will just be to GitHub for now. It's throwing me an error because I don't think it likes having an anchor in here. Or it just didn't like that I didn't have a text inside of the anchor. Sure. Okay. GitHub. Let's just add a class name to this. And I'm actually going to take the class name from the header. Because nice consistency, right? It's like I'm talking about making jello or something. There's a nice consistency. Sure. And we want that on the link. Class name. And we don't need a margin right for this, though. There's no need for that. We just want the focus, the text, and the hover text. So then when you hover over it, you can tell that it is, in fact, absolutely a link. Now, with that done, and it looks the way we want it, let's put both of those in there like so. And let's call the top one project link. Okay. And for actually we are going to bring in that margin right again here. Margin right 4. And 4 I think is what we want. Let's do a little bit more and see what that looks like even on a small screen. It's centered very strangely when it has that margin right in there. So margin right 8. You know why it's gonna do that is because there's no consistency to it. So what we want is a margin on both of these items in order to make sure that it's centering everything consistently. But we want more. Project link, GitHub. Project link, GitHub. A little description. That'll be perfect. I actually coughed off mic this time. You should be proud. Anyways, let's move on. 1, 2, 3 is going to be description. And should we just even put description like so, or no? We'll just replace that text every time that we get to it. Okay, so if I forget to add these, I would like it to at least go to the right location. So currently these links will take you outside of my website, and I want you to be there for the target on blank, I believe is what we're looking for. Target blank. It's going to throw me an error, and I remember the error, but I don't remember it's, oh, okay, we want a relation. Okay. on top of our target, and that will fix that error. Now if you click on the link, it will take you to a new web page with the website open inside of it, like so. It's taking me to my old website. And same with the GitHub, and it'll take you to my GitHub, and that'll work for the reference point that we can start with to duplicate these here. And let's make this easy on ourselves by making sure that we comment in here so we can see where and what to copy and when not to copy it, I suppose. Card. I'm just going to leave it at that. And let's see where the card ends. Let's just shorten everything up so then it's nice and neat when we get into it and start copying a bunch of stuff. Alright. And card end. Okay, we got the card ends. Now we can duplicate a bunch of cards. We're going to be pulling the portfolio information that I have actually from my resume, because it has the most updated version of everything. I probably could have populated the source with something here, but the height should be somewhat dynamic. So before I get into adding the iframes, I want to make sure that the frame is the size that I would like. So I'm probably going to need to mess around with this a little bit. Let's do a height of shoot. Well, we could start with 200 and then, or 300. Is it 300 pixels? Maybe start with 250, because this is going to be for the mobile version. So really, I should take a look at it on the dynamic. Okay. So essentially, I want you to be able to see this and also see that there is another card. Okay. Margin. Then it's not centered. Flex, justify, center, items, center. That centered, is that all? Did it do it? Looks like it's a little off to the right there. Attached to this side over here. A little odd. Now, why is that? Oh, okay, so I added the margin to the iframe itself. That should have done the trick. And a margin of 0. So it guarantees that it fills up the entire space. That's not what I wanted, though. I wanted, like... Yeah, see, that's breaking it entirely. Probably because the margin is not accounting for the width full. I could probably just put in right here a width of 90%, and that will in fact fill it up like that. But then all of this needs to be on a div. So I think all of that actually needs to be centered. Hold on a second. Up here. This controls everything, and we want everything to be in the center. Not that one. This one. This is the flex with all the cards. So this is actually supposed to be outside. Like so. And this one ends right here. About here. Alright, so that's where that was. Now that makes a lot more sense. So now if I add a flex onto this one, this controls this entire box right here. So if I add a flex, and then a flex column, okay, now we want to put all of our anchors inside of a div as well. And that's, well, that actually fixed it just on its own right there because they're inside of their own div. So I don't actually need to do anything other than maybe add a little bit of margin. Class name, margin bottom of 2, and a margin top of 2 as well. Just to give it a little bit of spacing once there's a description there. We could do a very similar class name or the exact class name for the paragraph and save that. So there's another little bit of a margin, and the title could probably use a bit of margin there as well. So margin top, we could probably just put a straight up just margin on there. Margin of 4. That's a bit too much. Let's just keep that margin 2. It's looking pretty nice. Again, the consistency. Okay. Now we added the flex, and then we never justified it to the center. And items center. Okay, all centered up into a nice little card. Groovy. Now it's able to be duplicated. Yes. We could probably make the description small, actually. Text. Small or medium? Let's see. Let's do small. And let's just put an enter there so it's very clear where our description goes once we duplicate this. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate it 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5 and 6. Okay. Now, as you can see, it's already doing something that I did not anticipate. So 3, 4, and there we go. And let's save really quick, and let's go back over here because we want this entire thing on a large screen. Let's do medium as well to be 1/3. Okay. Let's give that a shot and see what that does for us here. And 2, 3, 4. And it's giving us the same issue. Let's just literally add. Let's get rid of the large. No, let's get rid of the medium. Save, and let's actually just input our own width of 30. I guess just 30%. Let's see if that gives us what we want. That should be it, but no guarantees here. Say 4 of them, and there's the 4th title card, just like we wanted. Now on a large screen, or a small screen rather, the titles should be all stacked on top of each other with a nice little space in between. We should add a background of like that light blue color that I used before. So let's do that so we can see exactly what we're looking at as we're looking at it. I could either add, yeah, let's add a background on the actual card itself. Background color, background slate 200, was it? Okay, so that looks like it just destroyed my border down here, which is a good reason to wait before making any large duplications. So that's why I keep duplicating it and then deleting it, duplicating it, deleting it. Let's just add a source. Okay, so now we can see the border wasn't necessarily necessary, but I do want it there. Let's see, how can we do that? We can put the border on a div and put the iframe inside of a div, or we can add a shadow. Okay, so that gives a nice appearance of it showing up there, so you can really feel that it's there. Kind of want a shadow on the title since it's like that now. Where's title? Title. Oh, where are you? Title. Shadow. Large. That looks bad. It doesn't actually add a shadow onto the text, it adds a shadow onto the box that the text is inside of. Not what I wanted. I don't want an underline, so I'm just going to add a little bit extra margin. Get in there. Sometimes some of these extensions are more hassle than they are worth. Okay. Now when I'm scrolling through and I have to scroll this, is that a problem? Nah. As long as the website is responsive, that the iframe is calling to, I think it will be okay. Yeah. I think that has everything that I would want this to have. It's pretty good looking. So this card Now when I duplicate it, I want to make sure that there's enough spacing in between these cards that they still look pretty darn good. Okay, I like that. That looks great. Let's duplicate it. We've got 6 of them. And let's check it out mobile, make sure that it looks like the way I would intend for it to look. It does look pretty good, I like it. And now it's as easy as changing the text here and inserting projects into these iframes. So for the first one, the title here, we can actually just replace it, resume. And the description is, this is my current resume, created with vanilla, or let's just say Bootstrap, created with Bootstrap. I think that it insinuates enough to where you get the idea. I'm trying to use fancy words. Who am I? BR? No. Yeah, BR. I was like, not, almost threw in an HR, but it's not what I want. No, no thick lines necessary here. For the resume, the GitHub, so we can just start opening these up, and let's have one for the website, one for the GitHub, and we're quite literally looking for my resume. That should be it. Let's check it out. When is the last update for this thing? Oh, 2 hours ago. It showed me right there. Perfect. So that's definitely the one that we want. Okay, copy this link, and I'm going to throw it into my link right here. So project link, GitHub. And now the project link is actually just resume.ericpolley.com. And that should be all ready to go. I'll test all these links out actually once I finish through all these projects. Yeah. I can also move them around pretty easily once I have them all set up. So I will change the order of these. Let's go to the portfolio because this is going to be an easy way for me to link a bunch of stuff. So we want to link, here's an old project, so it's going to copy the address, and we are on the second one here. Paste that in there, and the GitHub is very similar. It's copying from that link. I could easily just go to my GitHub and copy the link, same difference. I'm just trying to save time, cut corners, that sort of thing. I'm willing to cut corners as long as it doesn't affect the overall quality of the end production. And let's see, old portfolio website, September 2022. And check it out, portfolio website, and the description. We have proper links, they're all ready to go. We just need a little description here saying this is an old portfolio website for me. created this. And you know what? I'm just gonna do similar to what I've already done and just say HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I should at least add an and. I'm not in the end stall here. They look like links, that's for sure. So my latest, so that's what I was going to pull from the resume for, is the latest projects like these ones. And for this, I'm actually going to copy from the top. And let's go down. We are on card 1, 2, and 3. This is POLLEY.com. Source. It's not the source, that's for sure. That's what I probably should have done up there, is added the same website for the link into the source. POLLEY.com. POLLEY.com. And then I'm going to go over here to the GitHub and pull the link for the repository. POLLEY.com is actually over here. Fireship shop. Fireship shop? Ship. Firebase shop. That was the original intent for this project. And then I gave it away. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. From the description, I'm just going to pull from my resume, quite literally adding it in there just like that. And with some formatting from the JSX. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4, let's do Couv Radio. Copy the link address. You know the drill. Oh, you know what? Before I do that, let me fix that error up here before I get too out of hand. Before I get too carried away. Yeah, that's the one. Not out of hand, like I'm throwing things or something. I'm quietly sitting here coding. Okay, now we'll go over here and add Couv Radio. And Couv Radio for the title right here. And I'm just going to do couvradio.com. And the website source here is for the iframe, and then also the anchor down here. And then I will need the GitHub, which is not on my portfolio. That's crazy. And that's, you know, that's why I'm updating it, right? Is to get this most updated version. I want over here, and KO blah 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 blah. K, where's Couv Radio at? Where you at? Did I not have? I don't even think I have the GitHub. Nope, there it is. I'm not sure if this is the one that's hosted. I don't think it is. But it's the same code. Okay, and for the description, I can copy the Couv Radio description, and just like so. And that should be everything for that one. Let's take a look at it really quick. That's pretty cool. They're all like literal scrollable samples of the website, and you can click on them if you want. Yeah, I'm really stoked about this portfolio so far. I think this was a great idea, adding them in as a iframe. Okay, next, let's make sure we got our GitHub correctly. Yes. Next up, we have deerassassin.com. deerassassin.com. This is a fun little project I did for a local, well, a band that I knew from times past. And we want the GitHub for Deer Assassin. I don't know why I can't find it there, but I can find it over here. Deer Assassin. That's the money right there. Let's pop it in there. Deer Assassin. Now the link is functional. For the last card, I'm going to use. Did I already use Simon? No. Let's use Simon. Samson says. Whatever. This will work a little better, I think. Let's add the link here. I kind of wanted to add another one for the Dungeons to Fungeons game that I designed. I didn't add a description for the last one. Deer Assassin. So I might add another one or two here in a moment. Punctuation on this one, but not on the last one. Okay, Samson says, and while we're over there for Samson says, we can just copy the description. Luckily, I did a lot of the work for the description and everything ahead of time, so really I'm just putting the items in the right spot so then it looks nice. We need a title for Samson says. Where did I hide the title? It's over here. It is prettier. I think I hid it for me. Samson. I do like prettier extension, but sometimes it's not what you would want it to do. It doesn't do the thing that you would want it to do. I mean, all right. Get the GitHub for Samson Says. Then we'll order them around a little bit and see if we need to add one or two projects to this portfolio. Currently, I'd say these two could go, you know, a portfolio website is probably the one that needs to move towards the bottom. Though it is really nice looking, I do like the way that it pops out at you right first thing in the morning. Yeah. Okay, let's just make sure all these links are working. And then I do kind of want to add Dungeons to Fungeons. Even if it's a odd 7th project. Let's see if there's another one to kind of even it out. So there's Dungeons on My Friendly Computer. See if that's, I think the two of those, and then we're gonna call this good. Just because it would be an easy copy to add these two projects. Okay, we're gonna start here and call this one dungeons to fungeons. What do you mean fungeons isn't a word? The link, I think it was just DTF. Probably just replace these right here with DTF. The GitHub link, luckily, is right here. Hey. Okay, and the description, multi-purpose, yeah, multi-page, that's what I said. Yep, let's do this right here, paste that in, correct the grammar for card formatting, and we are ready to start adding my friendly computer. And over here, we're gonna do my friendly computer here. It's just my, huh? Some of these links that I thought of are pretty cool. I thought he was a loser until I saw his cool link. It's like a decked out Zelda game. Alright, we want to copy all that and put it in here. So this is my friendly computer. Alright, let's see what they look like. Make sure I got all the fields in there properly. Ugh, I don't like that. That's broken. I'm not adding that to my portfolio. Sorry, my friendly computer, you lose. It's just on a smaller screen. I failed when making it responsive, clearly. Okay. Let's go to Netlify, and let's actually just grab the URL for my current website in its raw form. So I want to go over here and add this URL. So let's take a look at where's the second URL at. Okay, that's the one we want right here. And let's copy and paste, and let's just paste it in there right now. And that is exactly what we want. And so let's replace my friendly computer with my current portfolio website. So I think this will actually be good for showing progression of my portfolios. Yep. And we need the GitHub for it. Is it over here? This should be it. Yeah, Eric POLLEY React. Eric POLLEY React. We want it over here. Paste it in. All right. Now, POLLEY should be first. This should be the very first website that you see. I'm gonna put resume last. So, you know what? I'm gonna put it in between. So actually, I'm just gonna leave it where it was, and instead, I'm gonna take my old portfolio and put that first. Put it before this new one there. Okay, like so. But then we want POLLEY itself to be first. So how's that gonna work? Let's see. Prioritizing these things. Just okay. Now after looking at this for a second, I really don't. I don't even want this one on top actually, just because it's oddly broken when it's tiny like that. So website number 2. And we're going down all the way to the bottom. Like so. Dungeons to Fungeons, you can actually go above Coov Radio even. And yeah, I like having resume first, but I think polygaya.com should be second. Where is it? Let's just grab this one then. Yeah, and then let's put this one right before Coov. So after that, and then after that, here. Okay, cool. I'd imagine this actually looks better on mobile currently. Just because some weird things need to be fixed actually inside of the projects of these iframes, like this right here. But this website no longer belongs to me, and that's out of my hands. Same with this one. I noticed that the player that has been added is very long and large for the amount of space that was supposed to be designated for it. But again, out of my hands, and the client's more than satisfied with it, so be it. Yeah, a lot of these don't want to work inside of their little square. Something to think about, I guess. I might actually even just add height to all of these. It's because the height they all are is kind of bothering me. Yeah, let's just do all of them. And we're just going to do a small adjustment. And that's going to be making it 280. That should be enough to make enough difference to where all the websites inside of these iframes look a little bit better. I didn't get the last one. It seemed to fix a lot of them. Width. Yeah, see, this is the only bummer I find with Tailwind, is that if I want, like, say, if I was creating some cards like this, and I just wanted to make the width 95 instead of 90, I have to go into each one of these and change it, when I could have just called a link iframe class and created it all myself. Okay, I like the way that looks a lot better, but the height is still bothering me. I think yeah, let's just change them all to 300. Yeah, let's make sure that looks right, like this. Yeah, because I want to make sure that you can see that there's a little scroller and that you can actually scroll it, you know. I don't, especially when you're on mobile. I don't want you to be stuck with this box that you can't get out of. So I want to make sure that it fits inside and that you can click elsewhere. So that's why I made the cards so much longer and made sure that they fit within the width of their container. So now I would like to change the height for everything. Don't want to highlight everything like that. I don't know why it does that. So these are all the same. Okay. Hey, Eric, they're all the same. See, a part of me wants to just keep on adding height until, like, all of these are all fixed. Let's see how much that would actually take. Let's do a 340. And then, if we're on mobile, I do like that. Let's make sure. So, okay, I just want to make sure that when you see it, that you can tell that you're supposed to be able to scroll down. So I want to make sure that the next title is in view. That should be sufficient. What also I could do is add a height that's for large screens, and that way when you're on a large screen it shows up properly, because I think it's a lot of it's going according to view width and height. So view height like 380. It's gonna throw me an error because I have two conflicting. Okay. Where is this? This is for my resume, right? Yeah, it should be. When I save. Okay, let's refresh. Height should be the same for all of these. Why does this one appear to be a little bit longer? Oh, it's the amount of text that there is inside. That's why. That makes sense. Okay. But still, on a large screen, it should be showing up. What if I do this? Okay. Height equals, I don't know. Let's do something ridiculous like 500 pixels so I can really see the change. Alright, good. But we want something more like 400. Let's see on the important one that's weird looking, if it fixes it. Like this one, which I need to change the title of actually as well. Good thing I'm like looking through these for way too long. Okay, let's add that property here. So the links and everything are right, it's the description. So right here. Nope. Essentially, I'll just keep adding into it until it isn't broken. Ideally, it would be like go back and fix it, but the whole point of this is to show the old project, so that doesn't really work. Well, I'm going to change the information for my card here. My portfolio website. October 2022. Created with React. Not going to be very descriptive because I'm not too happy with the way that this is looking right here. But that being said, I'm pretty satisfied with the way everything else is looking. I'd like to reduce these down to 2 lines each. And that should be about it. Service and yada blah blah. looks pretty good. Alright, the portfolio page looks pretty darn good, so let's go ahead and get over to commit this on GitHub. So I just close the terminal and reopen. Alternatively, Control-C would work. I'm just going to go git add dot and then git commit -m, and the message will be responsive portfolio page with iframe website cards, and git push to push it to GitHub. And now that is all updated and ready to go. And for the next one, we'll be working on the contact, blog, and about, which are actually some of the easier, I guess, parts of the project to work on. And then the homepage, which I would like to create an illustration and or animation for the homepage. Maybe something a little bit more personal than my original website with the Atom, which I was going for a React kind of look, but I understand how a gamepad could be seen as a little bit less professional, which is the main reason why I'm redesigning this website. And with that said, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video where we should be finishing up this website.